Is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are MC.
Today from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, it's the final game of this four-game series between the Royals and the Tampa Bay Rays. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. In the first three games of this series, on Monday, it was the dominance of Danny Duffy, 16 strikeouts in a Royal win. And then the bullpen, 4 scoreless innings. Herrera with the save, the Royals win 3-2. Last night did not go well as the Royals gave up 3 home runs. The Rays won 12-0. Steve Physiak now with Rex Hudler, and we will see the Royals debut of Billy Burns, acquired from the Oakland Athletics. This is a guy who last year was 5th in the Rookie of the Year, and what does he bring?
He brings energy, he brings on-base percentage, and speed. You got to have all those elements in his job. Now, it's a nice audition for him today. Hopefully, they'll move him up in that lineup in further dates.
That's Hud's opinion. Let's get Billy Burns' opinion of what he brings to the team.
Well, I just hope I can help in any way they want me to, but my main game is my legs and just running and then basically just battling out there at the dish and putting the ball in play, low, hard line drives. So really just wherever I can fit in, I'm going to try to help this club.
That's right. Low line drives on the ground, feathering that ball to the opposite field, putting pressure on those defenses. That's exactly the Royals' way. This guy's a player. Hopefully he can make that contact and make things happen. He's going to be fun to watch.
It sounds like a better, faster you.
Oh, come on. He's a lot better, Fizz. Look, this guy, he can hit from both sides of the plate, and he can cover some ground in center field on a consistent basis. We're looking forward to him possibly leading off one of these games here.
All right, Ian Kennedy will go for Kansas City today. Drew Smiley. The Royals will try and put frowns on that young man's face. Royals and Rays next. morning in St. Petersburg, Florida, but hopefully things will be fantastic for Ian Kennedy. He is our Honda most trusted player, and he certainly was against the Texas Rangers.
That's right. Those powerful bats, he worked through it, only giving up one run. Now it's the same here at the Trop. These Rays, they can hit that ball out of the ballpark. He's got to stay out of the middle of the plate. That fastball's been lethal. 94 strikeouts this season on that four-seamer. Hopefully he's good, Biz.
And he's keeping it down. No home runs last 3 starts. You can see the success on the road his last 3, and he pitched very well in the Royals' victory against the Rays back on May 30th. When we come back, the Royal Bats hopefully will pick things up for Mr. Kennedy. Are 2-1 in the month of August. Both victories coming here at the Trop, but the offense still needs to pick things up, Rex.
Yes, that averaging 2.1 runs per game on this trip, that's got to change. You're not going to win many games. Heck, Kennedy's only received 10 runs of support in his last 7 starts. Let's go, fellas. It's there. Let's find those gaps.
It's the last game of this road trip. Let's end it on a winning way. First pitch is next. Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida for the final game of this series. The Royals currently at 51-56. Escobar to lead things off, but the keynote is Billy Burns hitting 8th. He was 5th in the American League Rookie of the Year last year, a speed guy, a catalyst you call him, and it'll be interesting watching him work his magic here at the Trop.
Yep, be nice to see him include those legs, keep that ball on the ground, put it in play against Drew Smyly.
Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard show you what he has done against Kansas City, 3-2 record, but not so good May 31st, 8 runs in 4 innings.
Oh, they jumped all over him, especially be looking for that first pitch.
He is only 3-11 this year despite very good command, 31 walks and 118 strikeouts. You wouldn't think that he would have an ERA over 5, but it's well over at 5.29.
He's a guy we should get to. Yeah, first pitches he's given up a 368 opponent average. Fastball, slider, cut fastball, changeup. Slider's been his most effective pitch.
Escobar with the bunt, and it will roll foul, so it's a 1-1 count. And he won't overpower you with this fastball, will he?
Nope, he's just going to average 90 miles an hour with that pitch. He'll go 88 to 92, maybe some 93, but look, he's been missing out over the plate, Fizz. You can really tell by the amount of home runs he's given up. It's not been good for him this year. His focus hasn't exactly been there, and he's shown it with some poor body language in some of his outings. 22 home runs he's given up, 17 to right-handed bats.
Right down the middle with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, be looking out there. He's going to leave something out there for you for sure, but you just can't miss it. Escobar having issues leading off, doing too much. He's swinging for the fences. Now 2 strikes, he typically shortens up.
List that one in foul territory, and over goes the first baseman. That is Richie Schaefer getting his first start this year.
All right, right on cue, the Rays defense. We're going to show you Richie Schaefer. 9th career start at first base. They're auditioning for a first baseman, that's for sure. Beckman was over there last night. And they're waiting for Morrison, their first baseman, to get well.
Yeah, Logan on the disabled list, one of many they've had. Morrison's on there with Oswaldo Arcia. The most key pitcher who's on their disabled list, Alex Cobb. Cheslor Cuthbert hitting .293.
Drew Smyly, he's had a tough time. He's had 6 starts against the Central, and he's 0-4. His own division, or the Central division he used to pitch in when he was with the Tigers, haven't been too good to him.
But he really believes that he may have turned the corner. He's made consecutive quality starts in his last 2 outings. Gave up 2 runs in a victory over the New York Yankees in his last start, covering 6 innings, and the start prior to that only allowed 1 in 6 innings. Good off speed, swung on and missed. Even count to Cuthbert. And then he drops a good breaking ball in there for strike 3.
Wow, that was a hanger. I mean, that ball had hit me written all over it. Look what this is. You love it. That's just a cement mixer. It just spun right there, belt high. Got to be ready.
Royals have really struggled offensively in the second half, and they've scored 3 or fewer runs in all 7 games of this road trip. Swept in Texas, but they did take 2 of the first 3 because of clutch hitting and great pitching, particularly by Danny Davis, and then on Tuesday by the Royals bullpen. Here's Hosmer. And that's a fair ball.
Keep going. Come on, Haas. You got 3 in you.
No, he's going to put the brakes on. The left fielder got to it quickly. And I believe I said Danny Davis, meant Danny Duffy, on that spectacular start on Monday.
Franklin a little shaken up. Nice effort down there he gave Smyly. But Haas found the line. It's a little bit of fortune. Franklin, he took off after it. I mean, like he was on the move. Now look at that ball, just stayed in. As Haas was talking to it all the way down that line. Great effort, but Haas will take a double.
The Royals did not take batting practice on the field today, but a lot of guys here early taking early work with Dale Swaim. Here's Kendrys Morales. We do have news on Kendrys. He is going to be suspended 1 game, and he's appealing it currently, but he was tossed from Tuesday night's game after arguing in the 9th inning about a strikeout and was so incensed by it he came back out for a conversation with the umpire, and you cannot do that, so automatically suspended 1 game.
We didn't see it. No, we weren't really looking for it. I mean, it didn't come out till the game was over, so that caused some issues.
I knew he had debated the home plate umpire on Tuesday about the call, but he walked back into the dugout, but I didn't see him come back out.
Well, the umpire missed on a couple key at bats on him. He twice they missed well off the plate, inside and outside. He went down and looked at it on the video. And then, like some hitters, when they see it and they know they're right and they see it, he was angry and he came back out and voiced his displeasure, and it cost him a game.
And that's not like him. He's one of the most pleasant guys on the team, but very focused in that batter's box. Right there. Home plate umpire Sam Holbrook giving that low strike early.
Morales thought that was low. Hitting 293 with a runner in scoring position. The Royals got to pick that up. They've got to score more than 3 runs. They've been stuck on 3 this whole 7 games of this trip.
Oh, good breaking ball, and he strikes out Morales. 2 Ks in the inning for Smiley. Here comes Kennedy. It's been very hot in this series. As a matter of fact, Forsythe and Kiermaier, who go 1-2, have 9 hits in the first 3 games of this series. Brad Miller, he's gone deep. The Rays with 3 home runs yesterday in a 12-0 win. Here is Ian Kennedy making his 22nd start.
Walks, just 39 walks in 121 1/3 innings. Home runs 26. That's top in the American League. He's been really sneaky with that fastball. He wants to be able to keep it out of the middle. That's his key. But he likes to pitch above the belt with that fastball and down low with his secondary pitches. So up and down, but try to stay away from that belt to the knees. That's the nitro zone. Paints the corner right there. Fastball, curve, change slider, 64% fastballs. Opponent's only hitting 203 on that pitch. 94 strikeouts with the four-seam fastball. So he's convicted that that's his best pitch, and he's going to use it. And when he's good, he's on both sides and up and down. It's out of the middle.
He has allowed 17 home runs on that fastball, but opponent's only batting 203, and right now he's not getting that outside corner from Holbrook.
That's right on the corner. That's where he lives. You could tell he gave him a little bit of a pause stare. He's thinking, really? Come on.
And then he throws a changeup on a 2-1 count.
Well, he's wanting that pitch. This is the previous pitch. Let's see where this was here. Just off. Okay.
No, I think he caught the corner.
Well, Holbrook didn't give it to him. Yeah.
In there, he gave him that corner. Forsythe said you didn't call that a strike earlier.
All right, now Forsythe was looking for an off-speed pitch. But one of the reasons, there it is, that caught the top of the zone. One of the reasons he's had so many strikeouts with it is he challenges hitters when he's behind and when he's ahead. He'll just go ahead and say, here, hit it.
Now Kennedy to face the left-handed swinging Kevin Kiermaier, who has reached in 7 of his last 11 plate appearances since they moved him to the #2 spot in the order.
Well, whenever you get promoted when you're in the bottom of the order, you get up there, you like that. You want to hit in the first inning. So it's a promotion. He has the ability. He's a great bunter, slap type hitter. He's got some pull power.
He's on the disabled list because of a left hand injury. Escobar lost the ball in the ceiling, and it was interesting listening to Joel and Monty talking about the color of the ceiling being the same color as the baseball, and Esky just overran that.
Yeah, it's worse at nighttime. Okay, daytime at least there's some sun out there and it makes the roof brighter. As at nighttime it's darker and it's harder to pick. You could just tell he missed it. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get that on the noggin. If you run and while you're looking at the ball and then you look down to see where you are and look up again, sometimes you lose it.
Yeah, Alex Gordon was telling Joel in our pregame show that a lot of times if you take your eyes off the baseball, you'll completely lose it. And he goes, unfortunately, a lot of times you'll run into the wall because you're concentrating so hard on that baseball.
Better believe it. The Metrodome was like that when that building was in play. And the Houston Astrodome was tough. The Astrodome was worse than any of them because they had all those plate glass windows. Yeah, the panels up there and I mean you couldn't take your eye off the ball.
Pete Rose told me in the Astrodome and it took him a game to get really aware of the baseball, and he said it would just seem fuzzy. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Swing and a miss. Kiermaier is down, and back-to-back strikeouts for Kennedy to open the first.
Royals defense sponsored by Ford. Billy Burns' first start as a Royals center fielder. He can go get him. He's got excellent speed, good reactions. He's a good athlete, and he has the willingness to learn, and he wants to absorb everything, and he's going to get out there and do his thing, and that's catch that ball for the pitcher and then get on base and try to score runs for him.
The Royals have been able to keep Longoria quiet. He's just 1 for 10.
First souvenir of the day, and it looked like it landed in the guy's soup right down the line there. They have a little restaurant where they serve food.
Swing and a miss. Ian has him down 0-2. These two combatants were first-round picks in the 2006 amateur draft. Longoria number 3. Kennedy was number 21. And who was the first overall, Hud?
Well, come on, our guy Luke Hochevar, of course.
Swung on and missed. Well, Kennedy wins this battle of Southern California lads.
Yeah. Kennedy's got that eye of the tiger, punches out all 3 of them. Yeah.
Ned Yost talking with Alcides Escobar perhaps about that roof, the color of it. And Rex, it is overcast outside. How much does that change?
It's better. It's better during the day than it is at nighttime because it's brighter. I don't care, overcast or bright sun, it's going to lighten up that roof and you can see that ball a little bit better. At nighttime when it's dark, they just have the artificial lighting that's up there and it's not the same.
Here is Salvador Perez. Had the game-winning home run in the 7th inning on Tuesday, his 16th blast of the year. To center field, Kiermaier there. 1 out. Now Smiley will get that lefty-lefty matchup with Alex Gordon. And he's held lefties to a .260 average this year, but surprisingly he has allowed 5 home runs to left-handers this
He's
year.
had a hard time because he's not getting his breaking stuff over like he wants. It doesn't have that crisp break to it, especially to his slider. Staying up.
.22 home runs is a career high. It's tied for 6th most in the American League. Gordon pulls it foul. The only hit in the game has come from a left-hander. Hosmer's double in the first.
Now the Royals have hit .275 with 28 home runs against southpaws this year. That average is 4th best in the American League, so they should be able to handle Smiley.
Good breaking ball. Gordon swings and misses. That's 3 strikeouts by Smiley.
Couldn't lay off of it, and that breaker, and you see it comes out belt high. That's going to be down below the hitting zone. It's all about that release point.
Paulo Orlando 4 for 10 in the series. That's jumped his average to .320.
He's the best hitter against lefties in the lineup today at .347 average.
Right now that breaking ball really is working for him, and that was the pitch along with the changeup that he had trouble with for a long stretch this year. He said he just could not get that feel for the changeup where he could throw it with that late fade.
That's a field pitch, you know. If it's not working, just like Giordano's curveball the other night, it wasn't working for him, and so you're going to find a way to utilize your other pitches until maybe that comes back to you.
Orlando fights it off. That was a tough pitch to hit, and he sliced it into right field for a single.
Nice emergency hack. He was able to pick it up in time before he got called out. That would have been a strike. Starts on the back door. Watch this. Starts outside, and then it just kind of stayed up, and he's able to keep his hands inside the baseball. That's the key, using the whole field.
So good speed on. He's stolen 7 bags this year. And here's Billy Burns. The very first pitch that Billy Burns saw at Tropicana Field last year with the Oakland A's, he swung at it and hit it out, a home run. This year with the A's, hit .234 and then was 0 for 1 last night as a Royal, so a .233 batting average. He hit it well though last night in his 1 plate appearance. Pops this one up. Souza right on the line. Royals done in the 2nd. has been dipping into the French fries, and the other one saying it's a little loud in the Trop.
It's really good for those youngsters out there that have noise issues.
How about that? And there's the DeLorean heading back to the future. This is the classic car show that's coming to Kansas City on August 21st, and it's going to be really fantastic. The $45 ticket package includes one vehicle entered into the car show, 2 game tickets, a parking pass, a dash plaque, and a commemorative T-shirt. Order your ticket package today at royals.com/carshow.
That's a pretty good deal.
It is.
Plus
You get some sweet wheels there last year.
Anytime you can get 2 tickets and your car in, you gotta like that.
Ian Kennedy was rock solid in the first with 3 strikeouts.
Miller likes what he's seen off of Kennedy in the past. 3 for 4 with 1 homer. Be careful with him. Keep her down or above the belt.
3-1 count. You have the lefty Miller, then the right-handed swinging Steven Souza next. Perfectly located fastball. We saw a lot of that in Texas.
When he gets that paintbrush out, Fizz, and starts painting the corners, it's really going to be tough for those guys to hit. That's his best pitch. Look at him doing it again. 203 average on that fastball is all the opponents are hitting. Now the slider, that's the one they're getting to most with a 480 average.
Inside for ball 4, so a leadoff walk to Miller. But Rex, even the run he gave up against the Texas Rangers, you remember that? He came in on Bobby Wilson, who basically muscled a little flare into left field. That was a good pitch.
It was a good, better piece of hitting. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opponent.
1 run in 7 innings to Texas. In his last start, received a no decision because the Rangers won it late 2-1.
Yeah, you know, I like the fact that he challenges hitters with that pitch, because you know what, lots of times hitters are going to get themselves out. That's a more higher percentage strike pitch for him.
I think the big challenge for our starters this year has been lack of run support. I mean, he's received a total of 10 runs of support in his last 7 starts. Seems like the Royal starters are constantly in tense situations with such close games.
And he's more of a fly ball pitcher, so he's not going to induce a whole bunch of ground balls, but he has induced 5 double plays this year. Souza 0 for 3 in his career against Kennedy. You know, you can tell with its sun out now how much brighter it is by looking at the field. I mean, they don't need the artificial lights here, really, because now it's all bright. See how that ceiling is just bright. It's so much easier to catch the ball, even though Escobar dropped one earlier. Or he didn't drop it, he missed it. Misjudged it.
Runner goes. There's the throw from the knees, and they got him.
Wow, you can't run on Salvi. That wasn't even close. Salvi turns to the dugout and looks over there into the dugout, and look, yeah, he's checking him out, and they're
He's saying, "Oh, come on, man."
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't even close. Look at that. Just drop to that left knee and put that ball right there. You are toast.
But did you see him grin and look over at the Tampa Bay Rays dugout when they were challenging? He looked at Kevin Cash and goes, "Oh, come on, man."
Yeah, no, he's
Please.
He's saying that's lucky.
He's the best. They did not challenge, obviously, and Steven Souza takes it outside for a 3-2 count. Souza was mad at himself. He walked about 20 feet from home plate because he really thought he had to protect his teammate by making contact. Ian went right after him, gets his 4th strikeout already.
Souza can go make contact on the water jug now in the dugout. That was blown right by him. Yeah, four-seamer right down the middle saying, here it is, hit me. That ball almost looked like it had a little rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, got up underneath that. Little Linda Ronstadt there blew by you.
Good song from the 70s. Left-hander Corey Dickerson. Strike one. Dickerson makes all the starts against right-handers. Usually sits against southpaws. All 15 of his home runs this year have come against righties. He ain't messing around.
No, it's working tonight.
His first breaking ball that he throws to Dickerson. Fouled off.
So what happens now for the hitter Dickerson? He's thinking, okay, using that fastball a lot. This is when Kennedy might pull out that changeup. See what Salvi puts down. Yeah, more fingers mean, well, okay, maybe he changed his mind. He's going to go outside with a heater.
Yeah, you just get the feeling that Ian really feels that he has that great command with that fastball. He's been very good his last 3 starts with a 1.96 ERA and 3 walks, and you include today, he has also now struck out 23.
He's staying convicted with his heater. Just off the plate. Salvi wants that changeup just like I do. He's putting it down, but Kennedy's shaking it. Try the breaker. Breaker down.
Pulled to the right side. Hosmer. Nice job by Kennedy through 2. Salvador Perez with the help. For the 25th time this year, he throws out a would-be stealer.
In 51 attempts, 49%. That's the best in baseball.
We head to the third inning of play, looking for our first run here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Had a lot of rain earlier this morning.
I mean, it was just dumping.
Yeah,
buckets.
like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I thought there was a leak coming from upstairs in the hotel. I'm thinking, you know, what's going on here? And looked outside, and whoa, man, it was
Coming
like
down
a
in
sheet of
buckets.
rain.
Now Christian Colon to lead off the third.
You know, that's the one good thing about this ballpark. It's indoors. You know you're going to get BP in. You know the game's going to happen, regardless of the weather outside. And that's really a plus.
And there's a look at the Trop. Now they're talking about building a new facility in this area where they would have a retractable dome. It's a nice day. You could leave it open, but much like Seattle, gorgeous in the summer. A lot of fans there don't want to be indoors. So Colon strikes out on that good Drew Smyly breaking ball. He has 4 strikeouts early.
Smyly, he's getting them on with a soft one there with 2 strikes. So look for that when you get down in the count. Look soft.
Escobar popped up to the first baseman in foul territory, first time up.
All right, now we've seen several teams this year play Escobar in. They pull on the infield, but Souza, the right fielder, he is way in, and what he's in for is to take away any of those little doinkers. The ones he tries to dump in there. You see where Souza is over here. He's shallow, and it worked. Him and Burns, he played that way. Guys that don't have a lot of opposite field pop, they're going to take away the doinkers.
That is just barely foul.
Oh, I thought he had him a double. Longo had it covered. Longoria, 2-time Gold Glove winner. Gosh, that looked like that went right over the bag.
No.
Oh, it caught the corner. Come on.
It's Rob Drake, the third base umpire. And then he goes upstairs on Escobar.
Let's see if he goes soft.
He's gotten a lot of those strikeouts on that curve or changeup.
He can take one down that right field line, get him a 3-bagger. Oh.
Here's our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Boy, Detroit just playing some fantastic baseball. They've won 8 straight games to move within 2 of the first place Indians. They've made up 5.5 games since July 20th, and Verlander has been the story in July.
Seen it happen many times before. You can erase a lot of games in a short period of time, especially if that team above you loses games and you get hot at the right time. Bang, they're right in the driver's seat.
And today they get back Jordan Zimmermann, who will start tonight at home against the White Sox. Jose Quintana on the hill. They got JD Martinez back, and he hit the big home run last night in their win.
Well, in this game right here, Smyly is toying with the Royals hitters. The hitters have to look soft. He's not going to overpower you. Got to be able to slow it down. That pitch there is a show pitch. That's to set up the next one. That's a ball. Royals offense needs to show a little bit of plate discipline on Smyly here and quit flailing and bailing in those balls down and out of the strike zone.
Chesler down 0-2. Smyly goes right after him. 6 strikeouts.
scoreless in St. Petersburg as the Royals out in the field, and Joel Goldberg up here in the stands along the third base left field line. And Paulo Orlando, he's been tough to get out of the lineup because of the offensive production and also defensive and versatility. 27 games in left field, 15 in center. He's been doing a lot of that lately, and the most coming in right, 92 where he's at today. And guys, talking to Paulo, there are differences, and he works on all of them with Rusty Kuntz, comfortable at all of the spots. And then talking with his outfield coach, Rusty Kuntz, about that, Rusty says what's really been impressive this year about Paulo is that he has a great feel for those positions, but also reading swings, understanding scouting reports that he sees in advance. You see Rusty Kuntz so often moving outfielders left, right, in and out. But Rusty says oftentimes, most of the time now, when he looks out at Paulo, Paulo's already headed to the right spot because of the homework that he has done and his ability to adjust to situations.
Well, that's great to hear. And a guy who really has worked at his craft after spending 10 years in the minor leagues.
He plays the way you want to see every player play, with a sense of urgency. Because, you know, your career is only so long. One thing's guaranteed to every ball player out there, Fizz. You'll be an ex-ball player. You make your bed, you make it the proper way, you're able to sleep with a long life after.
Well, he got him in on the kitchen, and Franklin is out number 1.
Fans, get closer to the action at the K with our Royals Memories program. Choose between a variety of unique opportunities, such as photo on the field, watching batting practice, and delivering the game ball. All experiences are available for purchase each game exclusively through the MLB.com Ballpark app. Download the Ballpark app, pick up grades, and select a once-in-a-lifetime experience you'll cherish forever. Especially if you get to come up here and hang with Fizz and broadcast.
Well, thank you, Hud.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a lot more fun when they win, but look, this is baseball. It's a game that's played each day, Fizz, and you never know. We can set up everything, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Just glad to be at the ballpark.
That's right.
Here is Richie Schaefer, who played with his Rays teammate Brad Miller at Clemson, and it was Richie who was a first-round pick, and Brad Miller a second-round pick. It's taken Richie a little longer to get to the big leagues. He's a power hitter in the minor leagues, hit 26 home runs last year, but slow start this year. And I was a little surprised they called him up because he was only hitting .227 and just barely over 100 since the All-Star break.
Well, if there's a need on the club and you got a #1 pick down there, sometimes you're going to bring him up to give him some confidence and hope that he can perform better up here.
Kennedy makes quick work of him, and that is 5 strikeouts now for Ian.
Yeah, there's that changeup. It's a good one.
Catcher, number 19, Kurt Casale.
They hold that ball back in those 3 fingers. Same arm action as the fastball. Tricks the hitter.
These 2 starting pitchers have combined already for 11 strikeouts, and not yet 3 complete. Kurt Casale has been sharing that catching role with Luke Maile this year. Luke caught the first 2 games of this series, and Kurt the last 2.
Some internal competition going on in them for that catcher spot.
Yeah, they've never really had a rock back there. I mean, through the years they've had Jose Molina, who's a good defender, but not much offense.
They had Navarro for a few years.
Foul back. Played his college baseball at Vanderbilt with Sonny Gray and Pedro Alvarez. Commodores, a really good baseball program in the college ranks.
Yep, not everybody can be blessed to have a catcher like Salvador Perez. very special. Not just with his tools and the fact that he can block balls, call a good game, and throw runners out and hit those homers, but he's got an extreme personality, and he's fun and happy, and he brings a lot of that energy to the rest of the team, especially being the quarterback sitting back there behind home plate. Real treasure.
Loses the 169 hitter to Saleh. That's the second walk for Kennedy. And now he'll face the hot hitting Logan Forsythe.
Logan Forsythe.
Forsythe has reached in 8 of his last 12 plate appearances.
Saleh pointing to that shoulder to Kennedy, saying, keep that shoulder from flying open, direct it down right north and south towards me. That's always a little reminder, a body language visual to help the pitcher sometimes works wonders.
Third base. Cuthbert throws him out. Rays done. When we come back, Eric Hosmer will be leading things off. Then Kendrys Morales. Then Salvador Perez. Stay with us. Park today.
That's right. Look, I'm in a hurry. I want to get to the yard. That's the Skyway Bridge, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a roller coaster. But you must obey the speed limit at all times. And
Which you don't always do.
I got a little heavy with my foot today. I couldn't help it because I know the Royals are going to take their first series since the break.
No, since before the break.
Oh, my bad.
Last time they won a series was June 29 and 30, the last two games at St. Louis. Haas was on that pitch, just did foul it back. Hosmer with a double first time up. 5 hits on this trip. Teased him away. Smiley struck out the side in the third. Just tried to get Hosmer to chase in the last two pitches.
and try to do it again. Sweep him away.
Back of the middle. That's a base hit. Good to see him do that with mom and dad in the stands today, and his brother Mike.
That's nice. He kept it out of the zone, but you know, Haas is able to reach out there with those long arms. Poked it right back up the middle.
So Eric is 2 for 2. Royals have their leadoff man on for the first time. Kendrys Morales, the batter.
That was Royals' 87th infield hit. Good for 5th best in the American League.
Morales with a high drive to left field. Backing up was Franklin. Now he comes in about 10 steps. 1 out.
You know, you got to be on your toes out there in the outfield. You never know if it's going to hit off of one of the catwalks. And if it does, you got to play it. And if you catch it, he's out. If it drops, it's extra bases.
But the only ring that had a chance at that one would have been the C ring. If you hit the C ring, it's an automatic home run. It's the A and B's that are in play. This is arena baseball here.
Uncle. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Look, that's just part of it. If you hit one high enough, though, it's got a chance. You make sure you run because you can get as many bags as you can.
Another high pop up on the infield. And Schaefer makes the catch for the 2nd out. Royals with 3 hits in the game, 2 by Hosmer, 1 by Orlando. Get out, and that one is belted high and deep and gone. That is Alex Gordon's first career home run in this ballpark.
Yes, and with 2 outs, lightning strikes here in St. Pete.
He wasn't waiting around either.
No, and that ball wasn't walking. Souza, the right fielder, he didn't take 1 step. He just looked up over his shoulder. Better check his forehead for tracer burns. That ball left in a hurry. Nice to see Alex connect. 8th on the season.
And it got out at 96 miles an hour.
17th and 18th RBIs. Yep, that was swung on, gone. Drew know it.
Picks up his first home run since July 10th. That was against Steve Cishek, the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, a little 4-seamer. Right in that happy spot, saying, yeah, nice and short, compact. Take that top hand off. He's got full extension. 20 rows back.
2-0 Royals for Orlando. And he tries to drop one to left, and it will. And Orlando has a 2-hit game.
Sometimes, and Fizz, we've been watching this Royals offense for several years now. They all get started with 1 hit. And it don't matter if there's no outs, 1 outs, or 2 outs. They're all of a sudden going to start frenzy hitting, and we haven't seen that in a long time, especially on the road. They've only averaged just 3 runs per game on this 7-day road trip here now.
Do you think Orlando will be aggressive here with 2 out, Burns up, What kind of move does Smiley have?
Smiley's going to be good, but he'll have a long pause in his delivery. And if you go first movement, the minute he lifts up his foot, you got a chance, especially Paulo. He's got good speed. He's 7 out of 8 in steals this year.
Billy Burns flying to right field first time up.
And Burns likes to stay short with his swing, and he understands himself. He doesn't have a lot of pop. He likes to hit the ball on the ground. Burns came into this season with a .293 career batting average with 5 homers, 42 ribbies, and that's in 526 at-bats coming into this season. So he's got that ability to hit for a high average because he utilizes his speed.
Shows bunt, pulls it back.
You know, he has that attack mentality, but what's good about him is he doesn't he doesn't hyperventilate. He's not up there breathing heavy and, you know, really intense like some guys are.
Oh, he got underneath it.
And there's Souza again playing a shallow second base, or a deep second base. Alex Gordon says, all right, let's give our guy Kennedy some runs. And he does it with a nice short quick swing. His 8th of the season. Giving Jerk a little love around the base.
For a 2-run home run, but Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery now joins us. He's in the stands, and just wanted to get your perspective from what you've seen from Mr. Kennedy so far, Jeff.
Well, Fitz, so far I like the way he's been attacking the strike zone. We know he's been very comfortable with that fastball. I like 5 strikeouts today, 3 on the fastball, 1 curveball, 1 changeup, so he's got a nice mix going.
You told me when you came out of the bullpen, you would figure out what pitches were working for you, but you could tell that Kennedy knew he had that fastball command early.
Yeah, he's always had the ability to command that fastball. I really like the adjustment he made after his start against the Angels 2 starts ago. He made some adjustments. He took those adjustments into the game against the Texas Rangers that worked really well. I'm seeing it again here today.
And now it's the 2nd time through the order. Do you think he'll start mixing in the other pitches?
Well, typically a starting pitcher is going to go with what's working as long as it's working. So as long as that fastball is working, I expect him to stick with it.
Now, Monty, it's important that he stays behind that ball. You know, sometimes he doesn't. He drifts a little bit with that front shoulder, and that leaves that about thigh high. How do you stay behind the ball with a pitcher as a pitcher?
Well, I talked about the adjustments he made, and the adjustment he made after that start against the Angels was he stayed back behind the rubber a little bit longer, stayed above the rubber longer, allowed him to get that downhill playing. We always talking about pitching downhill, and when you're throwing the ball downhill, better chance of staying out of that happy zone, that hot zone that obviously leads to a lot of trouble for starting pitchers.
Well, he just got his 6th strikeout of the ball game, Monty, and that gives him now 129, moving him past Quintana and his teammate Danny Duffy for 8th most in the American League.
Well, he's on track to maybe top Danny Duffy's outing the other night. How about that?
And that's saying a lot, because Danny set the team record for one game with 16 strikeouts, and Ian with 6 in just 3 1/3 innings. Thank you, Monty. That's down the line. Longoria with just his 2nd hit of this series.
$28th double on the year for Longo. He just turned and burned on this heater right over the middle of the plate. Got the bat head out there. Tested Cuthbert. Cuthbert said, don't think I can make this play. You can see as that ball hits this artificial turf, it kicks up black dirt. I mean, it looks like dirt, but it's not. Those are ground up old tennis shoes and old tires, and they put in there to cushion and soften the carpet to where it's not as hard as it used to be in the 70s.
Kennedy goes right after Brad Miller, who swings and misses.
That old carpet in the 70s and 80s, man, that was bouncy and hard and very firm and really tough on guys' lower backs and their knees. Ask Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer. The Hawk wore his knees out.
Or even the great Ken Griffey Jr., who played so many years at the Kingdome in Seattle, and it shortened his career, I think, by maybe 2-3 years.
Well, he went to Cincinnati and played on the carpet there too. That's tough. It was hard, but you know what? For hitters, for some guys like that are premium players, Hall of Famers, you know, that's wear and tear on them. But for other guys like a Billy Burns or somebody that has speed, those bounce hits were great. They didn't utilize that carpet for speed. It was a fast surface then. Nowadays the turf has blades of grass. They're plastic, and it really slows it down. It's totally different than the old timers, but it conserves on their lower back and knees.
Miller got a pretty good pitch, but he was a bit up, and he has that slight uppercut. He likes the ball down.
Look at Miller. Miller's got dirt all over his uniform already. You gotta like that look. Look at that high fastball. Now he lost the grip. Looked like he chipped a bat. Something flew off of that bat. No batting gloves. Likes to feel the bat.
Three and two. He walked his first time up. Tested him upstairs, but Miller didn't bite. It's Ian's third walk. 2 on, 1 out. Sprint trivia time. Besides Jackie Robinson's number 42, name the other 2 people to have numbers retired by the Rays.
This is a no-brainer.
Boggs?
Could be. How about Fred McGriff? Prime Dog.
Strike in there.
How about the late great Don Zimmer?
That's a great choice.
Thank you.
You are the man.
No, I am not. Zim was.
Because I was thinking of players, and then as soon as you brought that up, I thought, oh, he was like the greatest.
Oh, man, all that experience. I loved him. His stories were endless, and it was fun to be around him. A lot of energy. It meant a lot to the Rays organization, Cubs organization, Yankees. He was with a lot of teams. Signature moment, I thought, was when the Yankees and the Red Sox had the brawl, and Zim was charging out of that dugout, and Pedro Martinez went over and body slammed him on the ground, and Zimmer got up, and he wanted to throw down with a guy about twice his age.
There's the mascot throwing down with some kids in the front row. Ian tried to go upstairs on Souza. 2-2 count. Uh-oh, now the mascot's getting a little angry. Knock it off, he's saying. Come on, Raymond, sit down. Kennedy has not gone with that off-speed or breaking ball. He continues to go after Souza with the heat. Raymond continues to go after the kids.
Well, I'm thinking that Kennedy remembers that shot that Souza hit off of Volquez last night. It was a little breaking ball down and in. He's not going to put it there for him again.
What about down and away?
Be good. How about just using that heater effectively up and away on him?
Souza had his first 3-hit game last night since May 31st, and that was also against the Royals. 2 on. 1 out. In there, strike 3 call. Perfectly located fastball. 7 strikeouts.
Well, he gave it to him, and it looked to me like it was right down the chute. Souza, you got to go.
That is our Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Oh, man, that split the dish in 2. Wasn't too low either.
He has the most strikeouts on his 4-seam fastball than any pitcher in the big leagues. Odorizzi, 88, who we saw last night get the win. Ground ball right side. Hosmer has it, gets it to Kennedy. Pitcher covers. Trouble over. Rays lead 2. To the 5th we go. 2-0 KC.
Nice.
Leader with the Rays are too many Mazda game breakers. What happened 23 years ago today. Nolan Ryan to Robin Ventura. Ventura says, I've had it. I'm going after Ryan. He got halfway out there and said, what the heck am I doing going out after Nolan Ryan?
Oh, man, and he just got a noogie sandwich, believe that, and a little knuckle sandwich to boot. And that's really put Ventura on the map.
Not in a positive way, though.
Oh, well, look, it was his decision, not Ryan's. He came to the mound. Ryan got him.
Yeah, we've talked to him about it. He's the manager of the Chicago White Sox. And as we said, he got halfway out there and he goes, I'm charging Nolan Ryan. This is stupid, but I can't go back now.
He could have stopped.
He could have.
We'd have laughed forever.
He could have stopped and said, I forgot who was throwing at me, Mr. Ryan. I'll take my base.
He quickly hog-tied him, man.
Well, I heard Nolan Ryan had a very long memory. Dave Winfield was hit by a Nolan Ryan pitch, and they had a big fight years before. And then in the All-Star game, Winfield's the batter, and it's like 10 years later. Nolan Ryan throws up and in, and Winfield backs off the plate, and he looks, stares at it. Ryan, what was that all about? And Ryan's tipping his cap to him. And then Winfield goes, oh, yeah, that was about the fight 10 years ago. Second time that Colon has been way out in front, and line went sharply foul. Raymond was down there a while ago. It's a shame that Colon couldn't have struck the mascot, who was annoying, antagonizing those children.
It's not very nice of you.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Look at Smiley. He's just having his way with that floater. His off-speed pitches are working. He's keeping them down in the zone and underneath the bats. Slider down.
7 strikeouts for Drew. His season high has been 12, and he did that against the Seattle Mariners back on June 15th.
He's looking a lot better than he did when he faced the Royals back May 31st at the K. And he only went 4 innings. They gave him 12 hits, 8 earned runs they got on Smiley. He didn't look the same. Now he's a lot better. He looks more confident.
And after that series, the Royals were at season high 8 games over 500. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the Kansas City metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack.
You know, in that last start we're talking about, May 31st, it was the most hits allowed Smiley's had in his career. 12 hits he gave up to the Royals. Now, Lorenzo Cain has the afternoon off today. I thought that maybe Ned Yost would have let him stay off yesterday and he could face the lefty today, but he gave Burns the nod. Let Lorenzo rest his legs before he comes home to the K.
We got the last 3 innings off last night when the Royals got blown out by a final of 12-0. Cuthbert's had a tough time with Smiley thus far with a couple of strikeouts. He's hit left-handers pretty well though this year, hitting .339 coming into this one.
That's right.
Smiley with that good off speed. Right there.
Slow it down. Now you really got to discipline yourself to lay off the slider in the dirt. That's what he's been getting strikeouts on tonight. Right down the middle, that one. Change up. He's getting a lot of guys off balance. I mean, Cuthbert was just way off balance. Looking for the fastball. That's called making the adjustment. This is his 3rd time he's seen him. And you want to just sit. Don't even stride with your foot. Keep your hands back and just see it. There you go. You gotta pick it up and know in the back of your mind that it's going to come. And then that comes with looking for the changeup and looking for that pitch to hit and not the fastball. If he throws you the heater, you just try to flick it and foul it off.
Cuthbert very disciplined at bat. Yeah, I thought that was ball 4, and Cuthbert finally realizes, hey, I got a free base.
No, I like that. He didn't want a free base.
You know, I'm looking down at my scorebook and go, I thought I put in 3-2.
He wanted to rake him. Look at that. He didn't want the walk.
No,
he says, yeah, 4, you got to go. And he said, all right, I'll get him. Look at him. He looked out there and smiling. I mean, after the last time up and he struck Cuthbert out, we haven't seen any emotion from him all year. He took both hands and slammed his bat down and busted. He's frustrated.
Hosmer to center field. Kiermaier back and makes a tremendous catch.
No way he catches that. Haas laid out some line on contact. Kiermaier got twisted up even. Misjudged it on a hard liner like that. If he still has the athleticism to make the play. Look at him turn right. He's going to move back around. Oh, man. No wonder he's the Platinum Glove winner from last season. Yeah, Smiley. You better buy him a steak dinner. Haas, all you can do is tip your cap.
Bottom 5, Ian Kennedy with a 2-0 lead. It came on a home run struck by Alex Gordon in the 4th inning. Now a popper foul, and it is strike 1 as Kennedy will face Franklin, Schaefer, and Casale here in the bottom of number 5.
That catch was incredible. He saved a run. Cuthbert would have scored.
Robbed Hosmer of a 3-for-3 day and a 3-0 Royal lead. Foul back. Hey, let's go to Joel, who's with an old friend.
Yeah, and a guy that has a couple of rings. Former Royals reliever Jason Frazier. He pitched in the World Series in 2014. Was with the team last year. Didn't finish with them, but I would assume, Jason, I know the kind of guy you are, that you were pulling for this group all the way.
Pulling for him all the way. A little bittersweet. But man, what just a great bunch of guys, and I can't believe I have a World Series ring. It's in my drawer, but I can't believe I have one.
Well, you got one the year before too for the American League Championship ring, and you were such an integral part of that bullpen. And we're going to see Billy Burns tested not quite the way Kiermaier was, but easy for him out there, the new Royals center fielder. But you were such a big part of that bullpen in 2014, and there when Raul Ibanez and the veterans helped rally the guys in Chicago. What was so special about this group?
I think I treasure the 2004 runner-up ring more than I do the World Series ring, just because I was a part of it. You hear teams talk about being a family, but I mean, my goodness, most of those guys came up together. They lost together. But then they won in the minor leagues, and then they lost in the major leagues, and then they won in the major leagues. And plus, once we had our momentum going, there was just no stopping us. And best 2 months of my life.
Yeah, you had said that over and over again, and you know, one of the things I always enjoyed about talking with you is just you always put a lot of thought into those answers. It came from the heart, and so seeing what you went through, and guys that had been in this game a long time that had never been able to get that ring, how special was that? I mean, some of the young guys, it didn't take them as many years. For you, it was your whole career.
Say for the first 10 years of my career, I played a lot of meaningless baseball. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's so hard to win. There's just so many good teams. And but the last two, I just can't believe that I got traded and then end up going to the World Series with that team, and then to be invited back and to go to the World Series again. I mean, especially like early in my career, it was like to imagine that even the Royals in the World Series, because there were some lean years there, and then to be traded there and go to World Series, it's just it's a great story.
Last thing, and we'll try to be quick because I don't know how quick Ian Kennedy will be here with 2 outs, but what are you doing nowadays?
My son Jack and I, we have Taekwondo class tonight. How about that?
Very nice. So you got to get out of here soon.
Father-son Taekwondo. We're going for our next belt next week. That'll be big for the Frasers. I'm taking kids to school. I'm making lunches, and I'm pretty awesome around the house. What can I say?
See, there you go. Good in the bullpen, and even better in the Mr. Mom and Taekwondo role. Have fun with Jack and being a dad. We're glad that you have those rings, and it's good to see you here in the front row.
Thank you. Good talking to you.
All right, that is Jason Frazier, and really one of the key pieces of those veterans. You guys remember, we talk about it all the time. Raul Ibanez, Scott Downs, Jason Frazier, saying to this young group, you're good. We know how good you are. And you can play like that, and they, of course, got it done and went on that magical run in 2014. Guys?
Thank you very much, Joel. And there is a pop-up to the left side. Escobar will grab it. Kennedy has a 1-2-3 fifth and a 2-0 lead going to number 6.
Great timing on the interview, Joel. You are outstanding.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Well, Gordon, the difference in the game with a 2-run home run. Steve Physioc, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. This is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Randy Ellsbury from Kansas City, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Randy, you get $600. But if the Royals hit a grand slam, Randy gets $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. Strike one. Morales has struck out and flied out. He hit a high fly ball that almost hit the C ring last time up. And he hits it in the air again to left field. Nick Franklin will pull it down for out number 1. But I wanted to ask you about Jason Frazier, what he had to say, because you look back in that 14 team. Of course, the 15 team won the World Championship. But that bullpen in 14, Greg Holland, Wade Davis, Kelvin Herrera, Jason Frazier, anytime anybody was tired, he filled in. He was like 7th, 8th inning guy. And then Scott Downs, Franklin Morales, Danny Duffy later in the year. I mean, that's one of the all-time greatest bullpens in Major League history.
Well, it was balanced, that's for sure. But I'm going to tell you what, that the back end of that bullpen with Holland, Herrera, and Wade Davis, that was a 3 that they'll talk about, along with Dibble, Myers, and Charlton. Back to the old Reds days. But you know, I really can feel Frazier, as I never even made one postseason game in my parts of 13 years in the majors, and it's just one of those things that I'm not the only one. But he fell into fortune. It was great that he got to wear a Royals uniform in their best 2 years in 30 years. I'm happy for him, and you know, I really appreciate how hard it is to be a stay-at-home dad and mom. I appreciate the moms, because in the off season, my young kids, I like to get involved, make lunches, and do those kind of things. That's a special job, but it's hard. But I commend him for doing that and really pouring into his children, because that's your legacy, Fizz. Ball players is not what they did in their major league career. That's their legacy. And if they're thinking right, it's their children and what they can do to help bring them up to be responsible young stars.
He still is a young man, and because of his knowledge, he could make a great pitching coach, I think, in the future, should he choose to.
Sure, but there's always a cool down period after a long career. You got to have it. It's nice to be able to take a few years off and just get away from the game and see what else is out there, which is plenty.
Smiley at 78 pitches, 1 out in the 6th. Foul back.
Now, for me, Fizz, after 21 baseball seasons, I didn't have that luxury.
No, you didn't?
I got blessed to come and broadcast baseball games with you. The next season, I went from the field right to the booth. Never took any time off.
The greatest and weirdest experience of my life.
Sorry about that. Support local KC arts and join the Royals for Arts Day at the K. Come enjoy pregame festivities on the outfield experience as the Royals showcase various facets of local art scene on this Sunday. Prior to the Royals game versus the Blue Jays, each Arts Day at the K, theme ticket provides a $5 donation to the Arts KC Fund. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets for more information.
Well, after Gordon got a fastball to his liking and belted it out for a 2-run home run, Smiley came in with an off-speed pitch. Barely misses with the fastball. For Alex, that was his 142nd home run. He needs one more to tie the great John Mayberry for 7th all-time in Royals history.
How easy was that? That made it look good, didn't it? Nice and easy. Just right to the ball. Beautiful finish. Hope we see more of those as the season progresses.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Same pitch there, only he pulled off. He was a little ahead of it.
First home run versus a lefty since last year. Smiley strikes him out. 9 in the game in 6 innings for Drew Smiley. When we come back, we'll be talking These are some of the Jason Frazier memories from 2014. Sky Bridge and nearby Tropicana Field. The Royals have a 2-0 lead on Gordon's 4th inning home run. Ian Kennedy outstanding through 5. Gets a swing and a miss from Logan Forsythe. He's gotten him twice. 0 for 2.
Kennedy so far is doing exactly what he did in his last start against the powerful Texas Rangers. Just going right through this offense with his fastball. He's going to mix in a couple of his secondary pitches, and you have to. There's not one pitcher out there besides the great Nolan Ryan that can dominate a game with just one pitch.
But Ryan had that devastating curveball as well, and later in his career he added that changeup.
Yeah, but still, had he developed that changeup early in his career, his strikeouts would have been even greater.
Kennedy's fastball command has been key. He's allowed 1 run in his last 16 innings. And just 4 walks. Forsythe 5 for 11 with 4 walks coming into this one, but Kennedy struck him out looking in the first and got him on a grounder to Cuthbert in the 3rd. Tried to get him to chase the change, but no. Full count. Key moment in the game with top of the order up. Kiermaier, number 2 hitter next, and then Longoria. After that, lefty Brad Miller.
Ooh. That pitch looked like it's right down the middle.
Let's check it out. Missouri Lottie box tracks.
It was down the middle.
Caught the high part of the zone. We thought they've got to get that letter high fastball called in the bigs.
You would think.
Make the guys swing it.
Especially getaway day. Those umpires, they got planes to catch.
They're trying to do the best job they can.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't have the luxury of getting bussed underneath the airplane and not having to go through airports. They can just, you know, those guys got to show up an hour early like everybody else that flies.
They also don't have the luxury of the Missouri Lottery box tracks.
Well, that's right, but you know, that's just the perk we have on the TV side up here.
How about a double play? He just ain't swinging on those close ones.
That's the whole idea of pitching. That's a good pitch right there, I'm telling you.
Why is he getting squeezed?
I don't know, Sam. Obviously, they have a late flight tonight, and they got all day.
And when you make a pitch like that, perfect pitch outside corner, it should be called a strike. If the guy swings at it, it's probably a double play.
Well, here's the thing. You know, Kennedy is not letting the umpires get underneath his skin.
That's key.
Okay, you better believe it. Now, Ventura, a lot younger pitcher, less mature. It affects him. He gets angry. He carries that with him, and it affects him. But Kennedy's not going to let that bother him. It's because he's a veteran. He's been through it. So Ventura's going to grow out of that one of these days, and he won't let that umpire bother him.
Ian had a little reaction after that last pitch, like, I caught too much of the plate. And he's fortunate that Kiermaier only fouled it off. He has options, though. He can go back to that change where he didn't get the call earlier. Coming in. Ouch.
Take that off the dog. He dropped in a slow hook, and we haven't seen this pitch from Kennedy very much today. Just hit him off the instep of his right foot.
Kiermaier was out for a while with that broken bone in his left hand. He had not been swinging the bat very well since coming off the disabled list. But 4 hits and a home run in this series. That gets away, and moving to second base is Forsythe.
Fourth wild pitch on the season for Kennedy. Salvi, an expert at blocking them, but you know what? You just never know from time to time where that ball is going to bounce.
Just look, it hit off the front of home plate lip. Went after him, popped it up. Escobar calls off Alex, and there's 1 out. Earlier we asked that sprint trivia question about numbers being retired by the Tampa Bay Rays. That's our sprint trivia question.
That's Wade Boggs, 12 and 66.
And it's interesting because Boggs didn't play here very long.
Would be the late great Don Zimmer. Yeah, but he got his 3,000th hit here.
I know.
It was a home run.
You know, a guy who really got this organization started that Joe Madden told us was a future Royal, and James Shields, number 33.
That's right.
He said he was the guy who got us into the Ray way, this fierceness, this toughness, this reckless abandon that we were not afraid of any competitor on the field.
Nope. Then he came to Kansas City and changed that environment inside that clubhouse too, and he did a nice job. So he's mentored several players.
Longoria to right. Orlando had him play perfectly, and Forsythe will not be able to advance.
Okay, now let's check out Wade Boggs right here at the Trop for his 3,000th hit. It was a hanger from a lefty. He knew he got it. He's going to enjoy that trot the rest of his life. There's his dad. Watch this, man. I loved it. What a trot this was. I'm getting goosebumps. Watch what he does. Kissed the dish. Way to go, Boggsy.
He loved the game.
Touch them all, man. That's sweet. Oh, yeah. What a career. Hall of Famer. And he's from here. That's why they retired that number 2. It wasn't that he played that long, but he's a local guy.
So many great years with the Red Sox, batting championships there, and then, of course, a championship with the New York Yankees.
That's right. Just 2 years he was in a Rays uniform.
They haven't had that long of a history. Breaking ball in there to Brad Miller. Brad has walked twice. Dangerous guy with 18 home runs. Kennedy has given the Royals bullpen the lift they needed. Trying to go 6 today. Bullpen has had to go 8 innings the last 2. Ventura only went 5 on Tuesday in the Royals 3-2 win, and then Volquez only went 5 yesterday and gave up 8 runs. Royals carrying 7 relievers. Right there. If he can get a quick out here, I think he might be coming back for the 7th.
First 2 games of the series, the Royals pitching did a great job when the Rays had a runner in scoring position. The Rays were just 1 for 18 in the first 2. Now last night they were 5 for 16. 16 opportunities in last night's game. Today so far they're 0 for 4. Want to keep it that way.
Most pitches that Ian has thrown in a game this year, 116 back in May against Boston. Rob Drake said he did not go. Forsythe still at second after the leadoff walk. Wild pitch got him to second base, but Kiermaier popped up and Longoria lined out. Big moment in this game. You can watch the games on TV. You can now stream games live on your mobile device, fans. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals wherever you go. He struck him out. 9 in the game for Ian Kennedy. Went right after him with the fastball. Gordon, the offensive difference in this game, hitting a 2-run home run back in the 4th inning. But both pitchers, Kennedy and Smiley, have been on top of their game, combining for 18 strikeouts in 6 innings. And Kennedy, 9, 5 hits allowed, no runs. Paulo Orlando will lead it off.
Hey, look, as long as the Royals got the lead, they're in good shape.
Looks like Ian's coming back out.
Yeah. He's got enough in the tank.
A right-hander, Souza, will lead things off, and then you've got the lefties in Dickerson and Franklin, but they do have that young lefty from Fargo, North Dakota, that could be ready to go. That's strong.
Well, sure. I'm sure that those guys are all ready. Ned would like to have Rolls down there, but because Davis and Hoach are out, there's guys that are going to be having to be ready, you know, after the 6th inning, and so ready for that opportunity to jump out there and show what you can do.
Ned calls it his all hands on deck bullpen right now, where everybody's got to be ready. Orlando skies it to Souza. 1 out. Our Panera scores around the league. Cleveland ahead of Minnesota 4-2, and in that one it's Clevenger pitching after the Tribe's starting rotation got beaten up. They had an ERA as a starting staff over 22 against the Twins in the first 3 games of that series. Chicago ahead of Detroit. Tigers were within 2 of first place Cleveland. Tribe has struggled since the break, and the Tigers have been red hot, winning 8 straight. Billy Burns up. Billy was the Washington Nationals 32nd round pick in 2011 out of Mercer University, and then traded to Oakland. The Blevins deal.
He's falling behind. I'd like to see him a little more aggressive. Last night he waited till 2 strikes before he popped up a ball off their left-hander reliever.
No, remember,
Eddie Romero.
He drove it in the gap. Kier might have made a nice catch.
Yeah, but with 2 strikes on him. See,
Yeah.
I'm saying I'd like to see him be more aggressive early in the count, especially with Smiley. Smiley's first pitch, the opponents are hitting 368 off of him this year. Be ready. Paulo Orlando, he don't miss a first pitch. He's on him. So you wait, now you got to hit his pitch or swing at it.
Burns 0 for 3 in his first start with the Royals.
Fans, the weekend starts early because every Thursday home game is Buck Night. Come enjoy Royals baseball while saving some hard-earned cash. Enjoy delicious hot dogs and peanuts for just $1 a piece. Get your tickets now for Thursday Buck Nights at the K by calling 1-800-6-ROYALS or online at royals.com/promotions. And if I don't have my days mixed up, I believe tomorrow's Thursday. Folks, come on out. Blue Jays are coming to town.
I thought today was Thursday.
Huh?
You're behind.
I do have my days mixed up.
Either that or you're ahead.
That's a week from
Are you
now.
talking about next Thursday?
Yeah, it must have been.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
Minnesota.
It's,
No, it's not. It's Chicago. Nice catch by Souza. 1-2-3. That was a good inning, Hud. Way to go. It's Thursday. If it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
Every day's ball, buddy.
Back here at Tropicana Field, where the Royals going for the series win, up to nothing. Interesting little tidbit here from USA Today, our Toyota League leaders. This was just their assessment in an article this week. They've got Petco Park ranked #1, then AT&T, PNC, Wrigley, and Dodger Stadium in their top 5. I think we could debate all of these forever, but the interesting part is that number 6 was, HUD's looking at me right now. Hello, where is Kauffman Stadium? Well, again, we could debate this, but they do have Kauffman Stadium ranked 6th, which would mean their top American League park. Now, when I look at their rankings, I always like this. You guys, we could talk about favorite stadiums, but everybody that comes into Kauffman Stadium, we hear it from players, broadcasters say how much they love it. The field, the fountains, everything about the city, the plaza. But interesting when you look at this, they had Camden Yards ranked 11th. I'd put it higher. They had Camden Yards, they had Seattle a little bit lower. That to me is one of the top 5. Now they did have Oakland last. No offense, but I think most people would agree with that. They had Tropicana Field second to last. These are generally known as the 2 worst parks in the stadium or in the league, and no coincidence that those are the 2 places that need new stadiums.
So worst Candlestick on the list?
It's been
That's
demolished.
your favorite.
Oh, it was demolished last Thursday.
Oh,
give it up for the stick, HUD.
Oh, you mean it's no longer there?
No.
HUD, a lot of those parks that you played in, they're not there anymore, buddy.
Hey,
there used to be a ballpark here. Didn't they make a song about you? Matt Strum, meantime, warming up at the bullpen, and Souza fouling it off. He has struck out both times. Did you know Huffington Post called Kansas City the coolest city in America? Over Charlotte, over San Francisco, over San Diego, which has Petco Park. We're the coolest.
Who's Huffington Post?
It's a very respected journal.
Okay.
They said something nice about it. Oh, Cuthbert with a bobble. Rats.
Took a little hop on him. He wasn't able to make the adjustment.
And a pitching change here because Strom getting ready for the lefties Dickerson and Franklin. And Matt, who did a tremendous job the other night, he comes in. Kennedy outstanding through 6, struck out 9. It's up to the kid in just his 3rd major league game.
Yeah, good job. By your local Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Visit us for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be, with 24 Kansas City metro locations, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. Kennedy, terrific job, 6 strong innings. Young Matt Strom comes out of the bullpen to face Dickerson, Franklin, and Schaefer. Got a nice fastball. He'll top out at 97. Good slider to complement it.
He was fantastic in just his second major league appearance. 2 critical strikeouts in a 3-2 Royals victory.
Thing that impressed his field manager Ned Yost the most was not just his strikeout ability and the fact that he comes in, he's fearless. It was in spring training this year when he got out there and his family. This is the other day, but in spring training he didn't have those wide eyes. He wasn't nervous at all. He acted like he belonged. And for a manager, you want a guy with confidence that's not nervous out there. So he made big impressions on Ned just by his mentality and his demeanor.
Mom and Dad, Linda and Tim, little brother Ben still here, Megan, his wife.
They call that mound presence. What kind of mound presence does the guy have? Looks confident, painting the corners.
It's back in the count with the fastball. If you're Dickerson, you can look for that heater after he missed badly with the slider. He mainly goes with fastball slider coming out of the bullpen. Does have a good changeup as a starter, but doesn't use it that often out of the pen.
He's just saying here it is.
Yeah, but if you can keep it down, both sides of the plate.
See what he's doing there now. He's got a mouth guard in, so he likes to use that to keep him from grinding his teeth. And also he said before he started using that mouthpiece, that's part of the new technology in today's game, he had a little spot on the back of his neck on his left side that would bother him. And when he started using that mouthpiece and he clamped down on that with his teeth, that pain went away and it gave him a way to expend that energy. Instead of grinding his teeth, he's got something he can put his teeth into. And along with that fastball, he's got teeth on it.
Foul tip into the glove of Salvador Perez. There's the first out of this 7th inning. And now he immediately points.
Yeah, he says here it is. He let that fastball eat.
Franklin, the switch hitter, turns things around to bat from the right side. Richie Schaefer on deck, a right-hander.
Strom's going to find himself in a more prominent role here as the season goes along. With Hochevar out for the rest of the year, they're looking for a 7th inning guy.
Davis, a question mark on when he'll come back. But it was good news that they received on Wade. No ligament damage.
But you know, they're going to wait on Davis a little bit longer this time. Want to make sure that they get that thing all cleaned out, that pain that he's having in his forearm.
Yeah, Wade even admitted that he may have brushed it back a little bit too soon after the last flare-up. The MRI, though, did show a strain to the flexor muscle, but no ligament damage. And my goodness, that was huge. Franklin only hitting .211 against guys like Strom. Three and one. They have Beckham, Jennings, and Maile off the bench. All of them are right-handers. Missed outside, ball 4, runners first and second. Sal and Haas both come in.
Yep, there's some leadership right there, just saying, hey, let's go. We got a chance to win our first series since before the break.
How about that low fastball, like he showed to Dickerson and also to Miller and Jennings on Tuesday. Schaefer struck out twice against Kennedy. Good power he showed in the minor leagues, but not yet at the bigs.
His shoulder's pulling out just a little bit. It's leaving that ball up and away and off the plate. Shoulder leaking. Get down and through it. Better.
Orlando. 2 outs. And you can see Paulo doing exactly what he told Joel before the game. I never take my eye off that ball, because if you do just for a second, you could lose it in the ceiling.
All right, let's check him out, though. He's got a nice little leg kick, good separation over the rubber, coming straight over the top. Actually, a little 3/4 sidearm there, but that's his changeup, and hopefully he can repeat his other 2 pitches out of that same angle. When that happens,
that may have surprised Schaefer throwing that change.
He did. He's got that in his back pocket. It was a good pitch. Popped him up. Got the out. 1 more to go.
Now the catcher Casale just walked and popped up. Strike 1. And then he drops a beautifully located breaking ball on the outside corner.
Yep, so that 3/4 arm slot working. Game 1 of this series, this 4-game series, Danny Duffy, he was just dangerous with all 3 of his pitches from the same arm slot, using the slide step, going from the set position. Very confusing. Longoria was telling us how tough Duffy was.
Got him. Great job by Matt Strom. 3rd big league game, and his last 2 have been fantastic.
This kid's fearless. Nice fastball, good change, nice breaker.
Two 2-0 Kansas City has the lead, and now it's time for a Tumminia Mazda game break. The Blue Jays are coming to town. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday fireworks show is going to be great. Saturday is Big Red Night, and then we have Monday off, followed by the Chicago White Sox.
Should be good.
We're getting taken apart by Detroit, but they're leading the Tigers today. Last time we checked, it was Quintana against Jordan Zimmerman.
When Joel was showing those stadiums and they were showing the K, man, just getting us excited about getting home. The Royals play really good baseball there. Their record at home 32-19.
Be a rematch of the American League Championship combatants. Fans do remember clinching that ALCS at home at Kauffman Stadium. Of course, they clinched the World Championship on the road. And not only the fans in the ballpark, but as we're leaving to head to the parking lot, get in our car and head home, just the fans in the parking lot, and the joy that they've experienced the last couple of seasons. Escobar pulling off.
You're right, Fizz. Now you might have been getting in your car and leaving, but them fans didn't. We were on the set out there after these postseason games. Me and Joe Goldberg, man, the fans were packing the house over there, man. We got a lot of energy. Look at that shot.
Escobar in the gap. He is putting his brakes on. Kiermaier flipped it to second base accurately with a little bit of loop on it, but Escobar said, you know, I'm on. Let's hold here.
It looked like that ball was going to split the gap, but on this turf it takes a bounce and it slows it down now. Escobar did the right thing. I think Kiermaier's throw might have gotten him. But you know, Kiermaier looks like he's got some infield instincts in him by being able to throw off his right leg like that.
Boxberger coming off the disabled list. He's made consecutive scoreless appearances since his Friday reinstatement from the 15-day disabled list, where he had left oblique strain problems. Cuthbert, the batter. Swing and a miss.
He's got a nice firm heater. 90-95 cutter, curveball, slider, and a great changeup.
Yeah, he led the American League with 41 saves in his All-Star campaign of 2015. And you know who selected him to the All-Star game last year?
I would say Ned Yost.
Yep, sure did. That was the manager's selection.
Since Ned's been to the World Series in back-to-back years, that manager of those teams are the All-Star skippers. He's won both of his All-Star games, giving the American League home field advantage, which was huge for his own team.
Cuthbert down 1-2. Struck out twice today and walked once. Line drive, base hit, left field. So 2 on with nobody out. Royals needing insurance. It was the changeup.
Yeah, he waited on him, but it was up, and he was able to keep his hands back, even though his lower half got a little bit off balance. Keep the hands back, rifled it right by him.
And now a hot hitter up in Eric Hosmer. According to today, all 3 at-bats have been quality. A double his first time up, single, then scored on Gordon's home run. Last time up, hit it the best he has, and Kiermaier made a stunning catch in center field to rob Hosmer of extra bases. Ball 1.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Haas usually hits out of the park. Didn't quite get it out, but Kiermaier, he twisted him up on. That's a tough read. Hardest ball for a center fielder is that ball directly hit over your head on the line like that. But when you have athleticism and you've got a gold glove, platinum glove, you get a hat tip from Haas, who also wears the gold.
He'll take one of those players right here to get that extra run home.
Well, if he does, that would match the 3 runs or fewer in all 7 games in this road trip. The Royals have scored just 3.
It's the longest streak for the Royals since September and October in 2004, when they also went 7 straight games, scoring 3 runs or less. Pulled to the right side. That will get both runners to second and third. So a quality out for Hosmer, as now a single could give the Royals a 4-0 lead. Follow Royals Baseball live on your phone and tablet with MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, video highlights, StatCast, and so much more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live Royals baseball on your phone and tablet. So Jim Hickey comes out to visit with Brad Boxberger.
Well, with first base open, Morales hitting. It's not going to get much easier with Salvador Perez hitting behind Morales. It's a pretty good average there, 69% of getting those runners, getting 1 runner home anyway. And we'll see how they play the defense in the infield. Put them on. That's what they were talking about.
And they're going to pitch to Salvador Perez, a guy who's had very good success late this year. He's had only 1 at bat against Boxberger, but when he belted that home run to take the Royals from 1 down to a 3-2 lead that they would eventually hold on and win in the 7th inning. That was the 7th home run in the 7th inning or later, and 3 to put Kansas City in front. So he has been a clutch guy in these situations in the past. Bases loaded, 1 out.
He's just 1 for 7. Salvia is with him loaded this year.
Just don't hit the ball on the ground. Dyson will be the pinch runner for Morales. Perez can get one. Royals could bust this game open. First pitch changeup, swung on and missed.
It's a good pitch. Lots of times bases loaded. That hitter's looking for that first one. And usually it's a fastball, but Boxberger, we talked about his changeup. It's a good one.
Salvi down in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, well, he's doubled up on it. Why not triple up on it here? You get him looking like that, he might just do it again. This is where, though, as a hitter, you want to just shorten up your swing. Shorten it up, put the ball in play.
Struck him out.
Boxberger wasn't messing around. A couple of changeups and a heater right down the middle. Had him set up for that perfectly with those previous 2 pitches.
They had no left-hander warming up in the bullpen, and they do have Cedeno and Romero available. So the right-hander Boxberger must face Alex Gordon. The only man up in the pen is a right-handed pitcher. Alex has given the Royals their only offense of the day back in the 4th.
It was a shot, too. Drew Smiley threw him a fastball right down the middle, and Alex, he greeted it.
Strike two.
Boxberger, he's like jumping out ahead of guys. It's a borderline strike there. Let's see where it was on the grid. It was off.
Well, he was at his best when he needed to. Bases loaded, 1 out, strikes out Perez and Gordon. Royals lead 2-0 in St. Pete. Time for our University of Kansas Hospital injury report. Clayton Kershaw transferred to the 60-day disabled list, eligible to come back August 27th because of that back problem. The Dodgers with 25 DL stints this year, a National League record. Major League record is the 12 Red Sox. And the Dodgers somehow have been able to gain ground on the Giants, who played some bad baseball lately. They're 3-7 their last 10 games. But Matt Moore, former Ray, who was acquired by the Giants, going today, making his Giants debut at Philadelphia. Up the middle. Chevy call to the bullpen, brings on Joakim Soria. Forsythe on for the second time. That's his 6th hit of this series.
He stayed right through that ball up the middle. Now Soria, 265 average against 4 ERA. He's been elevated to the 8th inning role for Ned Yost.
Strom did a great job getting out of trouble in the 7th. Kiermaier 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts.
Soria is a 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider, curve, and change. That curveball, it's a slow one. He'll just kind of roll that up there, down low in the zone to get a swing and miss.
The Royals have not turned double play yet. Falling behind, can't do that. You got Longoria next and then Miller.
You're looking for trouble. Top of the lineup.
Man,
he's got to get back in that count.
There's a strike. Low, ball 4, 2 on, nobody out. Here's our Phillips 66. What's in the tank? They want to get it to this guy, Herrera, who has taken over the closer's role and done a very good job in a short time there. Last 16 outings, outstanding. 1 walk, 23 strikeouts.
Well, this is the opportunity right here for Soria to step up, keep that ball down. Maybe he can induce a double play ball off of Longoria's bat. That's the ideal situation. Longo's only grounded into 4. And he's had some pretty good numbers off Soria. Keep the ball down. Challenged him. 93 right down the middle.
Out of play, 0-2.
Soria doesn't want to give him anything too good here. 0-2 is not the time to give him a pitch to hit. Maybe he drops that slow curve down at his feet, or stay on the outside corner. Make him chase if he can get him to. Longoria does have 100 strikeouts coming into this game. There you go. Pitchers ahead in the count like this, you don't want to give him anything too good. You're going to try to test him around, at least with that pitch there, and maybe another one before he's got to get back in there. That strike zone.
Didn't miss by much. Joaquim staring at the home plate umpire, Sam Holbrook, as if to say, I need this pitch.
That's off the plate.
And some chirping from the Royals dugout. Good pitch there, fouled off.
Good selection and better location. Change up down. Right off the ankle. Ouch. Stay right down there again. That's a double play ball.
He's fouled 2 tough pitches off. Three-two count. It's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Struck him out. Oh man, what a pitch by Joaquim on 3-2.
Yep, it's a good time to pull the trigger on that changeup. He had him swinging at him a couple of times in this at bat here, and Longoria, wanting to be the hero, ends up swinging at this split finger changeup.
It gave the illusion that it was going to be a strike and then just died and faded down and in. And Longoria saying, man, opportunities. Now the left-handed bat of Brad Miller has walked twice and struck out. Strike one.
There's the backdoor curve. Good pitch. Sometimes, you know, if it's a good field pitch, if he feels it right, a lot of pitchers will double up with it.
Colon Escobar ready for that double play with first and second, one out. Miller runs pretty well. Hit well. Oh man. 3-run home run.
He went to the well one too many times with that split finger changeup, and Miller caught it. It was right out over the plate. He put a charge into it, his 19th home run. This thing was sitting right over the middle of the plate. He just stepped on it. Miller didn't waste any time at all.
Souza to left field. 2 out.
That ball that Miller hit was powdered. I mean, it left the ballpark at 2 seconds. .103 exit speed.
And that one struck well. Burns has to play it off the wall. It's a double for Dickerson. Lefty's really hurting Joakim Soria. A walk to the lefty Kiermaier, a home run by Brad Miller, a double now by the other lefty Dickerson.
Yep, Ned's talked about, you know, with the fact Hochevar's out for the season, Wade Davis is on the disabled list, that there's no clear and defined roles out of the Royals. And the way the kid Matt Strom's pitching, you know, he looked like he could be his new 7th inning guy. Maybe he flip-flops Soria. Soria the 7th inning guy. Let Strom be the 8th inning guy, because it's not working. This is getting too much to the plate at the wrong time.
Royals right-handers in the bullpen: Chris Young, Herrera, Moylan, Soria, Chin-Min Wong. Flynn and Strom are the 2 lefties after Counters was sent out. Franklin 0 for 2 with a walk. Hosmer. But the damage has been done. 3-run home run by Brad Miller.
All right, time to put it on him. Rays.
Baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit us at your MidwestFordDealers.com. Here in St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay with a 3-2 lead. Royals need some offense. Should they be held to 3 runs or fewer today, the 8 straight games would tie a Royals single season record set in 1972 and 1976. Well, Alex Colomé has been more than capable as a closer. 25 for 26, and he's retired his last 11 batters.
50 strikeouts and 12 walks. He's coming right at you. Miller. Timely 3-run bomb. Fastball 90 to 96.
Back up the middle, Paulo Orlando. Good start. 3 hits in the day for Paulo.
Another hit right up the middle. First pitch fastball. That's where he's gotten most of his hits all year long. Being aggressive early, right back where it came from.
Now you've got a speed guy up there, and Billy Burns handles the bat pretty well. First game as a starter for the Royals. He's 0 for 3 today.
And now most closers, they really don't have much of a move over there at first base because they're not concerned about the runner. They trust their stuff and go right after him.
And Billy was trying to bunt his way on and bunts foul. He was bunting for a hit there.
Yeah, well, if this fastball pitcher in Colomé, you'd like to see him just shorten up his swing and go to slashing. That's what he does the best. Find a hole, maybe pick a line, or just try to play pepper with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Find a hole, put it in the gap, he can tie it.
Colomé third in the American League, 25 saves.
Paulo's 7 out of 8 in steals this year.
He does not go, and the pitch is fouled back. Good slider, swung on and missed.
You can see that right over the top. So more like some cutting action there. Didn't have a huge break to it, but extremely effective.
Royals are going to send up Lorenzo Cain to pinch hit for Christian Colon.
Number 6, Lorenzo Cain.
This will be Lorenzo's first opportunity off the bench for Ned Yost this year. Been swinging the bat a lot better last couple of games. Be ready for that first pitch. It's usually going to be a fastball. Dropped a slider on it.
Good pinch hitter in his career, 5 for 11.
I'll say.
Colomé does have 1 blown save this year. Came recently, July 23rd at Oakland. He is staying with that Cutter slash slider.
Yeah, that's a good pitch until he has to come in there with that straight fastball.
He was the Rays representative in the All-Star game, selected by Royals manager Ned Yost. One and two. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Orlando will hold at second base.
Yeah, one too many sliders, and he left that one up. Lorenzo was waiting for it. Good short compact swing using the large part of the field. Keep the line moving. See, that just spun. A little cement mixer there off the end of the bat. Good piece of hitting off the bench. Ah, shorten that swing. Same thing here for Escobar, who's coming up next.
Escobar 1 for 4, singled his last time up.
Outfield arms by the Rays pretty good. Steven Souza Jr. out in right field. He's got 4 outfield assists. Kiermaier has a couple.
They play Escobar so shallow and right. Giving Esky less of a chance to get Orlando home.
Outfielder swung over just a tad off of that powerful fastball from Colomé.
Didn't mean to do it. Little roller, third base side. Colomé up, fires. Got him.
Good job of pouncing off of that mound by Colomé. Good job. He's able to get Escobar, who really a little check swing there. Sometimes he turns those into base hits with his speed. Hard to control it. If he's down the line more, he might have gotten it, but a nice job of gathering himself and not panicking. Getting the out. One more to go for the Rays.
Yeah, you wonder what they're talking to Colomé about, because Cuthbert will be swinging here with the lefty Hosmer on deck. Boulevard Royals live coming up after the game. Cuthbert last time up did get a changeup from Boxberg that didn't have much on it, and he singled to left field just by Longoria.
Yeah, with first base open, there's no way they're going to put him on and face the left-handed hitting Hosmer. So look, they're going to go right after Cuthbert, who's hit 280 off of righties this year. Wants to keep a short swing. And if he gets any outfield, he should be able to score both of them. Kane with a big lead out there at second. There's nobody holding him. You're not going to hold him with a runner at third.
Strike one.
Cuthbert was doing his homework, watching the previous few hitters, especially with Lorenzo. Knows that he's going to throw a lot of sliders. Hey, Lorenzo Cain, look at that lead. He's got a nice lead out there. There's no way they're going to be able to throw him out on a base hit.
One ball, two strikes.
Got no chance on that one.
Colomé hasn't had a wild pitch all year. That would work.
Game over. Royals have to settle for a split of this series as Brad Miller's 3-run home run in the 8th, the difference in the game, erases a 2-0 Kansas City lead.
Well, it's difficult to win games when offense is only providing you less than 3 runs a game. And it's unfortunate that Soria had to give up the homer, but good pitching right there to close it out.
Kansas City has scored 3 or fewer in all 8 games of this trip, tying a franchise record.